So big warm welcome to everybody who's still arriving. We're right on the hour for the start of our weekly gathering for Manatech Australasia. It's my great pleasure and privilege to be here every week with Diana Hunter and Gary Knapp and each and every one of you. So today we're going to be, just so you know, we're talking about an amazing product technology and results for that, such health supporting results that we can get with this science-based technology. And also we will be talking about a special at the end of it that is a current special. If you're listening to this live, then that special is live for you. Otherwise, get back to the person who invited you to watch the recording and find out what's the current lay of the land in regards to the specials on offer. So it's my great pleasure to introduce my colleague and friend Diana Hunter. We're in such good hands with her as an educator. She's someone that I turn to as my go-to for everything natural health and a lot of other things. Just to give you a little bit about her background, Diana is a Gold Executive Director with Manatech. She has pursued a passionate interest in complementary health for over 30 years, initially driven by her own health challenges and then by her genuine desire to assist others in maintaining good health in a natural way. Diana holds an associate diploma in allied health, a certificate in basic nutrition and health, and is a successful fat loss coach. She's assisted hundreds of people with their wellness goals through utilizing the Manatech real food nutrition product. So Diana, over to you. I'll turn my camera off. Just call on me anytime.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you for that warm introduction. And welcome, everyone. I'm excited to be sharing with you these 4 keys. They're lifestyle and dietary keys to having a leaner, healthier, and more energetic you. So why are you here? What is your lifestyle goal? And maybe you could share in the chat with me. Are you here because you're interested in a leaner you, a lean body? Are you looking to go to the next level of achieving your personal best? Perhaps you're looking for more energy to, fully engage in your life. I've got a picture here of a young family, but we often have grandparents just wanting to get down on the ground and have that special time with their grandchildren. Or are you like me and you're always looking for, optimal well-being? So what is it for you? Have a bit of a share in the chat for me so I can see. Why are you here? What would be your lifestyle goal about lean, healthy, optimal health? Thank you, Rhonda. Thanks for sharing. So let's get straight to it. And I'm not sure why the click through optimal health. Thank you, Leanne. We've got a bit of delay happening on the going to the next slide. Maybe I'll take that chat screen off and see if that worked. There you go. So here are my 4 keys for establishing a leaner, healthier, and more energetic you. Number 1 is maintaining our blood sugar. It makes tremendous, if we can keep our blood sugar on an even keel, it makes tremendous difference to our energy levels, the way our body manages fat metabolism, and our overall long-term health and well-being. I'm going to be talking about maintaining our lean muscle. Our muscle is the basis of our metabolism, and it sort of like helps with our fat burning furnace. It helps with our energy levels and also with our longevity. Being nourished at a cellular level. I'm talking micronutrients here and how vital they are, not only for being able to drop the fat, but also obviously for our health and vitality. And then I'm going to be finishing off with the need to deal with the level of toxicity that we're all faced now with in the modern world. So to the first key, managing our blood sugar. Now, when we manage our blood sugar, it reduces the amount of inflammation that our body is dealing with. And inflammation has been shown in science now to be an underlying factor in a lot of health and degenerative disease problems. Obviously, it helps us with sustained energy levels. If you've got your blood sugar going up and down, it affects your energy. You have highs and lows in your energy as well. And having your blood sugar on an even keel also reduces the storage of fat on your body, and more about that in a moment. So again, if you can share that, you'll all be able to see. I won't be able to, unfortunately, but who here has ever tried one of these dietary programs in the past? Low fat, low calorie, low carbohydrate, low cholesterol. Well, all of these over time, over the decades, have been shown to be unsuccessful and possibly even damaging to our health over the long term. Low fat often is missing the vital fats that our body needs for optimal function and optimal health. And I know a few people had their hand up there that was a prime objective of theirs. And often low fat diets can have a lot of hidden sugars in them. Low calorie, very popular in the 1970s. My mother was a pursuer of that kind of diet. It involves a lot of counting. It ends up fatiguing people, really low compliance, and over the long term it lowers our metabolism, and that can be really detrimental to long-term ability to drop fat, and also for our energy levels. Low carbohydrate are very popular in the last couple of decades, often involving high fat and high protein diets. Now that can lead to acidity and toxicity, especially if those diets aren't well managed and well supervised. And then, of course, we have what has been the very popular low cholesterol diet. So cholesterol isn't the bad guy. We actually need cholesterol as the foundation, the nutritional foundation for producing and forming a lot of vital hormones in our body. And our hormones then govern a whole range of functions in our body. So these dietary styles or dietary choices over the years have actually been debunked largely. And the truth is that about 80% of people who lose weight, they gain it all back again within the next year. And sometimes they're gaining more than they've lost. They've lost muscle and fat, and unfortunately they're gaining back all of it as fat, further depleting their metabolism and making it even more difficult for their energy levels and their ability to establish a lean body down the track. And these diets often starving the body of a lot of vital nutrients that we need for our vitality. So far and beyond proven by science now, the best dietary choice for keeping our blood sugar on an even keel and for maintaining our health in the long term and the ability to drop fat and maintain a lean body is eating low glycemic. Now, low glycemic eating only relates to the carbohydrate group of foods. So we have carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. This relates to the carbohydrate foods, so the grains, the fruit and veggies, and our pulses. Now, all carbohydrates affect our blood sugar levels. And what our body does in response is it produces insulin from our pancreas to bring our blood sugar level into a very narrow, healthy range. If we're eating high glycemic carbohydrates that spike our blood sugar, what the body will do is spike the insulin in response, enough insulin to bring that back into that healthy range. But what happens is when that insulin spikes, it affects the way our body stores fat. And what it does is it tends to store it. When that insulin spikes due to a high glycemic food, and I'll talk more about that in a moment, then our body's response is to store fat, either in the blood vessels or around the internal organs. Now, I apologize for this slide because I know it's a bit ugly, but it's good to know the facts. And this is a healthy heart, obviously pictured here in the center, and to the right of that, the storage of fat around the heart. It's called visceral fat. Viscera just means the organs that are contained within your abdomen and within the chest cavity. And this is visceral fat. So you can see on this picture of two people to the left, someone there who's very obese, carrying extra storage of fat all over the body and all around the viscera, the internal organs, versus lean body result, which is lots of lean tissue in there in the red, and just, you know, an appropriate amount of body fat. So how do we go about eating low glycemic? Well, it's actually, you know, there's some really basic guidelines to follow. Some basic guideline is to minimize or avoid white foods. They tend to be very high glycemic and spike our blood sugar very quickly, like white potatoes and white rice. Not all white foods, but just as a general guideline. The other general guideline is to eat foods that are hard to digest, in their natural state, and high in fiber. So it can be simple as swapping out something like white potato for fibrous colored veggies, minimizing sweet, easy to digest fruits like mango and banana and watermelon. Of course, it's okay to have some of these, but making the majority of your choices in the fibrous fruits here, like stone fruits and berries and apples and even pears. And then swapping out full fiber, low glycemic grains, you know, instead of the white fluffy grains. And this website here is a wonderful resource for understanding about low glycemic eating. And they've also got a fantastic database there where you can search on foods. It's based out of the University of Sydney, who are leaders in glycemic research here in Australia. So www.glycemicindex.com. So the idea is then when we eat low glycemic, we're able to keep our blood sugar on an even keel and maintain a lean and healthy body with vital energy, and reduce that risk of heart disease and also the risk of diabetes, because when those blood sugars are doing this, puts pressure on the pancreas, that ends up failing, and you end up with lack of blood sugar control, which is called, of course, diabetes. Now, the second key to maintaining a lean and healthy energetic body is how do we maintain our lean muscle? Muscle is tremendously important for our energy and our health. It assists healthy metabolism. So that's our fat burning capacity, our ability to translate fat into energy, or change fat into energy, or convert. It supports muscle. Having a healthy muscle structure supports our vitality, which also affects our longevity. And it also influences what's called our organ reserve, which is the ability of our organs to function optimally. So the more muscle we carry, the more we have optimal health in these functions in our body. Now, to the true measure of our health. Now, in the past, science used body mass index as a measure of our health, and that was calculated by a calculation which was timesing our weight and our height, or multiplying. But it's no longer considered a true measure of our long-term health, our longevity, and our true health. And you can see this is a great example here on the left. You've got someone who's very much into building a strong muscle structure, and someone who is not getting much exercise, carrying a lot of body fat, but in fact they have the same body mass index. So it's not a true measure. Science is moving now to the concept of body composition, which takes into consideration our muscle mass, our fat mass, our bone mass, and our water content. And this is now being seen as a true indicator of our health, our lean to fat ratio, and our ability to maintain bone density. And one of the reasons is that fat per mass, per square centimeter or square inch, if you're, depending on what age group you're in, actually takes up more space than muscle for the same for the same weight. So the scales aren't a true measure of our progress, particularly in the early phases of any lean to fat or lean body or fat loss program. You're going to lose fat, before muscle, so that the scales won't change in weight in the early phases, but the tape measure will show that you've lost size because you've dropped fat mass. I hope that makes sense. So over the long term in any lean body program, the tape measure is the simplest and most accurate guide or measure, if you like, of your progress. There is an optional DEXA scan that you can have in a radiology department that measures this body composition, your bone mass, your fat mass and your muscle. But for the majority of us, the simple and most effective way is through the tape measure. So what is, see if people can have a go, a guess, it's pretty simple. In the chat here, what is the nutrition that we're taking into our body every day for our muscles? What do we put in our diet every day for our muscles? It's protein, isn't it? And our muscles are made up of about 70% protein. It's the nutritional base of our muscles, along with some other nutrients and water. So it's vital that we have and include protein in our diet on a daily basis. And as a general guideline, the measure is about 8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So the average male, that's about 56 grams of protein a day. The average woman, about 46 grams. So this here is just a general guideline. 100 grams of protein from salmon or chicken would be about 25 grams. And eggs about 6 grams. So it gives you a bit of an idea of how much protein we actually need on a daily basis to maintain a healthy lean to fat ratio. And this brings me to highlight one of Manatech's nutritional products called OsoLean. It's actually a nutritional supplement that's designed to support our body in maintaining lean muscle and targeting fat metabolism, the ability to target fat in any kind of lean body program. Now, it's derived from whey protein, but it's much more than simple whey protein. What they've done is they've isolated and extracted key nutritional particles from the whey protein and enhanced them in the product. So it contains 2 protein peptides that are enhanced that support and target fat metabolism and the ability of your body to convert fat to energy. It contains protein peptides that help with appetite control. It stimulates a hormone that tells our brain we've had enough to eat, and it helps people that have problems with appetite management to feel full and not to overeat. So it's a really helpful component of this nutritional supplement. And it also has enhanced proteins that help us maintain muscle. They're called branched chain amino acids. And you've heard of bodybuilders taking protein supplements. Well, these protein supplements have these branched chain amino acids in them. And there's ample amount in the OsoLean to help us not build muscle necessarily, but maintain our muscle mass. And then on top of that, they've enhanced the whey minerals, primarily calcium. And calcium is known to support fat loss, particularly in people who are carrying a significant amount of extra fat. It helps in the fat loss process, but it also provides nutrition to maintain that bone density. So much so that there's 2 double-blind placebo crossover trials now being done. So that's the highest level science that can be done on a pharmaceutical, or in this case, a nutraceutical. That is proven when you take the recommended amount of 2 scoops of OsoLean twice a day, along with your lean body program, it helps your body target fat metabolism and maintain your lean. So that when you're losing weight, say you lost 10 kilos, without OsoLean, what the body tends to do is lose half of that as fat and the other half losing the lean muscle. When you're taking the OsoLean, the body starts targeting fat more, so that in these trials, an average of 80% of that weight was fat loss, and people were able to maintain their lean muscle. So important. And beyond the fat loss benefits, I'm an advocate for OsoLean. You can probably see here in the vision, I'm not struggling with my lean to fat ratio. I actually am doing really well with that. But I love the health benefits of this product, and I take it every day for supporting fat metabolism. I've got a family history of heart disease, and I want to make sure my fat metabolism is doing the best it can. Appetite control. I've actually got a fast metabolism. I get hungry a lot prior to OsoLean, and this just smooths that appetite right out. Healthy body composition. I'm a post-menopausal woman now, and I want good lean to fat ratio for the energy benefits and the health benefits. And of course, being in post-menopause, I want to make sure I've got enough nutrition in there for bone density. So this product is rich in food-based calcium. So one of the things I wanted to do today in this presentation was to focus not only on the benefits to any lean body program, but also to the benefits for our health. And our first guest speaker is Sharon. Sharon's going to speak on her girlfriend's results and health benefits with the OsoLean product. So thanks for jumping in here, Sharon. I know Sue is involved with the family this morning, couldn't come on herself, so I appreciate you speaking on her behalf.
Yes, thanks, Janet. We had a busy and crazy weekend in this house, but always a pleasure to be here, and I'm loving what you're sharing so far. So, yeah, my girlfriend Sue, she has unstable blood sugars, so she gets cravings. She's got a sweet tooth. And if she goes too long without eating the right foods, she gets real serious cravings. And she's literally, and she works on the road a lot, and she's always, she'll just grab whatever and not make the best choices. But when she takes her OsoLean in the morning, it's a completely different picture. She says she doesn't get cravings at all. She goes all the way straight through to lunch and has a normal, hunger response to, it's lunchtime, and she also makes healthier choices, like those sweet and foods that aren't really healthy for us aren't attractive to her when she takes OsoLean. It's night and day. And, obviously some of you might have a chuckle, but some of you might know someone with fluctuating blood sugars and moods along with it. I just sort of duck for cover and get out. You go dive for the OsoLean cupboard and say, here, I think you need some of this. But it's dramatic, the difference. And it also, I think the other thing that it really helps, she feels better about herself when she's not making those choices, and it just keeps her on track, and she feels really solid. So it's dramatic. I can watch it, and I know when she's been using it and when she's on track, and when, I definitely leave the room otherwise. I won't tell her we said that, will you?
No. I can actually relate to it, actually. It's one of the benefits for me too.
Oh yeah, that's my friend Diana. She kind of has a similar story, actually.
Tremendous product, our OsoLean, as I say, not only for lean body, but for, smoothing out your life. Thank you, Sharon. Thanks for coming and sharing on Sue's behalf.
Pleasure.
Okay, on to my third key for a lean, healthy, and energetic body: being nourished at a cellular level. So when I'm speaking about nourished, so we've talked about proteins, fats, and carbohydrates so far. I'm talking about micronutrients. So think about, our body's just made up of trillions of cells. And what are the cells made up of? They're made up of 100% nutrition, aren't they? So I'm talking about amino acids and fatty acids, the vitamins and minerals, the phytochemicals. They are the fuel for our vitality, our energy, our repair in the body, and our overall health. And our body knows, it has a lot of cellular wisdom to know whether it's being nourished in this way or not. And if it's not being nourished by micronutrients, it perceives this as starvation. Now, if not only is our energy depleted if we don't have these micronutrients, it affects our long-term health. It also affects our ability to drop fat, because the body, in its innate wisdom, thinks it's starving. And so out of a survival mechanism, it will stop dropping fat because it's storing, protecting for the next, it's seeing itself in a famine and waiting for the next feast, if you like. So it's vital that we have adequate nourishment that we have a well-balanced diet with adequate protein. We've spoken about that. That's micronutrient rich and that's low glycemic. And I have friends that are very happy that part of a balanced diet does include the odd glass of wine. And also, look, a lot of people do the best with their dietary choices, but we live a busy modern lifestyle. And sometimes it isn't easy to make sure your meals cover these essential bases. And this is where our TRUPURE meal replacement shake really comes to the fore. It's micronutrient rich, it's protein rich. It has 20 grams of vegan-based protein. It's from brown rice protein and pea protein. Now, the average meal replacement out there is about 14 to 15 grams of protein. This is 20 grams. If you're looking at a protein-only supplement like a bodybuilder would take, they take about 30 grams in their supplement. This is 20 grams of protein. So it's really, falls into the adequate protein category. It's low glycemic, so it's going to keep your blood sugars on an even keel. And wherever possible, the nutrients in this product are sourced from food-based food sources. It's vegan friendly, gluten, dairy, and soy free. So we're also meeting what the community are looking for in any kind of nutritional supplement. Now, there's a lot of meal replacements out there, but it really is buyer beware, because some of them aren't low glycemic. They're full of synthetic ingredients. It's not a well-regulated area in nutritional supplementation. And so with our TRUPURE, you can be assured that you're getting quality, and when you're putting that shake in your body, it's really delivering what your body needs for optimal health, optimal energy, and for the body to be able to target fat loss. Again, I wanted to focus on the health benefits of these products. The TRUPURE shake, I have friends using this for pre and post-workout drink. My 91-year-old father, it is fantastic for elderly people. I've got my 91-year-old father using this as a meal replacement. He has it every Saturday morning. He has his TRUPURE shake. I'd like to get him to have it more often, but I'm glad when he does have it at least once a week. It's wonderful for children, a really tasty milkshake. We've got members of our community making cookies out of it. We've got a recipe if you're interested. And of course, for busy people on the go who are skipping breakfast or skipping lunch or don't have time to put dinner together or too exhausted, it's a wonderful go-to for that purpose. And so with that, also with the health focus we have this morning, I would like to invite on our next guest speaker, Sue. She's using the TRUPURE shake for lifestyle as well, aren't you, Sue?
I am.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. Okay, my story with TRUPURE is probably quite different from anyone else's, or maybe not anyone, but 4 years ago, I went through a health challenge that resulted in surgery on my esophagus. So that was 2016. So for a lot of 2016, I could not swallow solid food, like I just couldn't. So I had a lot of soups, but my main source of nourishment was TRUPURE. I don't think it had been around, I don't know when TRUPURE came out, but anyway, it was very timely, it was available then. So I had that to sustain me. When I got through that year and I was able to eat solid food again, for those of you that actually know me, see me, I'm like Diana, never really had a problem with too much body fat. And I was, after the surgery and starting to eat again, I actually had zero body fat. That's not true, but it was almost like that. So I started doing TRUPURE as supplementary meals. So I would take them in between eating regular, getting back into eating food to try and regain weight and to build up strength and to nourish me. And today I can't eat very much in one time, but I often have a smaller, not the full, like I'll make up a whole one and just have it different times through the day to maintain, you know, my energy and everything else. So now I also have it more in summer than in winter. I love it as a breakfast because it really sustains me well. And my husband, you know, is a fairly big eater and used to be much slimmer when he took OsoLean, have to get back there. But he, yeah, it nourishes him as a man from, you know, breakfast time to lunchtime, really. So I just love it. I think it's fantastic. And I only wish it had been around in my crazy business, you know, brick and mortar business days when I used to skip meals, and that would have been good.
Yeah.
It's my story. And yeah, it's got lots of uses, obviously.
Yeah, so many applications. And you really brought up a particularly important one, you know, people using it for, you know, keep their energy sustained or as a snack or, you know, to actually build themselves up. It's, you know, opposite of what it was necessarily designed for, but it's perfect for that. So thank you, Sue. I'm sure that's benefited people to hear your story. Thank you. So we're down to my final key, which is dealing with planetary toxicity. We're all faced with toxicity now every single day, inside and outside our home. There's been toxins found all over our planet. You know, in the North and South Poles, no one is immune to exposure to planetary toxicity. So it's important that we deal with it because it leads to all kinds of health issues, sluggishness, inflammation. As I mentioned earlier, inflammation is now seen as the underlying cause of a lot of health problems and degenerative disease. So anything to reduce toxicity and the inflammatory process that it causes, you know, all the better. And in terms of any lean body program, if you have toxicity happening, it can cause a plateau because the body's built up so much toxin that it doesn't want to release anymore and until it's got rid of what already is released into the system. And that is because the body's safety mechanism is to store these toxins inside the fat cells. So when you're dropping fat, it's releasing those toxins, and we need a way to move those toxins out of the bodily systems. We need assistance to detoxify these days. That's just the state of the nation in our modern world. And Manatech have brought forward as part of the True Health program, TRUPURE. It's a herbal and nutritional detoxifier. It is a very complex, nutrient-dense product that supports a cellular cleanse in all bodily systems and organs. And it diminishes the toxic load. It's in a really yummy, tasty slim stick. You just add it to water once a day. When people are progressing through a lean body program, sometimes they choose to take these 2 or 3 times a day to move those toxins through and keep in the fat burning zone, if you like. A wonderful product. This is a product that you can use throughout the year as just part of your overall daily detoxification program. So I'm now moving on to some personal stories of a couple of ladies from our community who've been using the True Health program for lean body results. And my next very special guest speaker is Marika. Thank you, Marika.
Thank you, Diana.
Here you are, very revealed, Marika. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your pictures. Please share your journey.
Thanks, Diana. Yes, I've started this journey actually 13 years ago, and I've tried all the JoJo diets and all the products on the market, and it actually left me getting fatter and unhealthier because I got all the side effects of the ingredients that was in the products that I didn't even know of. And we've moved to Australia last year, and the beaches is awesome in Australia, and we walked on the beach, and 2 elderly people was walking in front of me, and they were just like fit, and they were walking fast, and I couldn't even breathe. I had to stop everywhere where I was walking. I had to stop because I couldn't breathe. And that's when I made the mind switch to be happier and healthier. And with the True Health system and the OsoLean, like you can see, the result is amazing. And the reason why I'm doing it is to have fun on the beaches with my son and run with him. And I actually feel very good. I had high cholesterol and I am insulin resistant, so I know the health benefit of feeling not energetic and feeling like you can feel in South Africa we would talk about you can feel your life get going off out of your body because of the sugar that is falling and things. And now I don't even know about any of the side effects. I am more energetic and I just love using this products and using the True Health system. It's amazing. But thanks for having me.
Thank you, Rika. So 40 centimeters and 10 kilo. Can I just ask how long that took you? Over what period? Oh, she dropped out there.
That was a month.
Over a month?
That photo was the before and the after was a month.
Okay.
But I am on this system for 3 months.
Okay.
But on the 13 years, I must just say, in the 13 years that I've tried weight loss, I have a lot of bad habits, eating habits, and to get out of this bad habit is not so easy. So that's why I decided to make that mind switch, that it's a lifestyle change. It's not just a diet.
Great point, Marika. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure that's been a benefit to people who've joined us today. Thank you. And then to our next story with Leigh. Wow, look at these results, Leigh. Congratulations. Thanks for joining us and sharing your story. Just switch your camera on if you can, or if you can't, that's okay. Not sure what technology you have there.
Hi, thanks for inviting me on to share my testimony. Yeah, it's always, I just love encouraging. It's just been such an amazing journey. So to help anyone else and get them to make that step is, yeah. So 2 years ago, I come across this program with TRUPURE, thanks to Naomi Joy. She was advertising on Facebook and I was socializing on there and come across the opportunity, and I'd been looking and I've tried everything. And what motivated me to get onto this bandwagon of losing weight, because I've done it many times over the years and always managed to put it back on again. I've always been yo-yoing with my weight, and I got a bit of a health scare, and my doctor was threatening to put me on blood pressure tablets, which was a bit of a scare for me, kind of a reality check, and basically put me in the classification of obesity, which I didn't appreciate hearing, but truth hurts. And I just noticed my lifestyle and everything was just all nowhere near where I wanted it to be. I wasn't able to enjoy my lifestyle with my kids. My passion is riding horses, and as you can see, it was that picture actually. When I come back, I thought I'd start just getting back into the saddle again, and looking at myself on the saddle, I just couldn't believe I did that to that poor horse, and it kind of was another bit of a kickstart to, you know, for me to just wanting to live life again. And I had a lot of bad digestion issues going on, so there was many reasons, not just self-image, that I wanted to do something about what was happening. So anyway, so I missed the challenge that was happening, but you know, the great reward was that I actually, you know, managed to get this weight off. So I started 2 years ago, actually, to this date, pretty much in August, and in the first 8 weeks I lost 14 kilos, and I just couldn't believe. I mean, I know we shouldn't say how easy it was, but really I've never been able to shift weight so easily and quickly. And I think there was an empowerment that come with it. I don't quite understand it, but I think I know, because it's the nutritional side of these products tends to bring satisfaction. And so it's not like you're having this battle and war, but I mean, yes, we have to make healthy choices. It took a few weeks of me to sort of change direction and derail off the bad choices that I was making. But once I got going, just couldn't believe it. And my husband was just in awe, and so much so that after I lost 14 kilos and dropped from a size 18-20 down to a 14-16, and that's without exercise. And I'm not advocating that you shouldn't exercise, but just, you know, I wasn't in a fit place to even exercise. I just couldn't even think of being able to do that. Getting on that horse was the only thing I managed to do. And So anyway, so my husband joined, sorry, my husband ended up joining in because he was just, you know, thinking, wow, this is crazy. So he got on the bandwagon, and then I continued to keep going with him on the 8-week challenge. And I lost a further 6 kilos, and he ended up losing 14 kilos in his first 14 weeks. So that's a magic number for our family. But in the end, I think, well, Christmas came and went as well. Like I started in August, so Christmas came and went. I had a bit of a break after I lost that initial 14 and then 6 kilos, so 20 kilos. So I relaxed over Christmas, and I was amazed. I used the product OsoLean, and it really, I couldn't believe it just helped maintain my weight. And I do enjoy wine, and I do enjoy my latte. Like every morning, I've not given that up at all. I don't know. I'm not advocating coffee as being great too, but that's just one of my things. And I was just amazed that I could still enjoy that latte and the odd wine here and there. But Christmas time, OsoLean really helped maintain the weight for me. And yeah, that was just another real bonus. I just found I could still indulge and enjoy, as you know, Christmas is a really hard time to not want to enjoy some extra delicious things that we probably shouldn't. But yeah, so in the end, I think by March, April, I thought I'd just get back on the TRUPURE again, 2 shakes a day, and I dropped another 6 kilos for my daughter's wedding. So by May, I had dropped 26 kilos, and I was down to a size 12. So I was pretty excited about that, and was able to wear a dress that I enjoyed to, you know, have that day with my daughter and feel good about myself. And yeah, that was exciting. So yeah, I would just encourage anyone that the program really is effective. It's something that you can bring into your lifestyle. It's not something that, it's not like a diet. And together with the low glycemic foods, things like that, it really does set you up for a healthy lifestyle. And the benefits, not just in weight loss, I never ended up having to go on, because of the drastic weight loss, I never ended up having to go on to the blood pressure tablets. That was a big win for me. And I'm now enjoying my horse riding and my children, and just, yeah, loving life. And there's been a lot of other benefits in my health, my hair, my nails, everything's just a lot healthier. And yeah, so I will never stop taking these products. I just enjoy the digestion issues have really helped with that. So even, you know, with target weight, I mean, I've had a few COVID kilos, which I'm now going to hit with this next challenge starting in a few days, sorry. So, but yeah, I have a lot more confidence that, you know, these next 20 odd years that I'm going to enjoy, rather than feeling like, yeah, things weren't looking too good. So, you know, it's amazing. It's good to get a bit of a scare to sort of make decisions you need to make. But I just didn't think it was, yeah, going to be this good and this easy to maintain. And yeah, so, and I've just seen so many other people's, like, I wasn't looking to do the business, but because of the results I had, so many people and my friends were just like in awe, and they just, you know, I want what you've got, and they could see the difference. So yeah, so thanks for having me.
Thank you, Leigh. There's so many powerful elements of your story, but the ones that stand out to me is, you know, that you've done this over a period of time. It's not a quick fix. It's a lifestyle, but it's it's something that you've been able to, you know, integrate, and there's all the health benefits as well as the lean body. So congratulations, and thank you for sharing your story, Leigh.
No, thank you.
So as I close out now, I just thought I'd cover, we just can close out your video now, Leigh. That's right. Just a few other factors to consider for a lean and healthy body program. Do you have stress in your life? Just something to consider. My experience, obviously, in sort of fat loss journey, if people have a lot of stress, it can cause fat loss resistance, but obviously it also has a significant impact on our long-term health and energy levels. Drinking plenty of water for, again, that detoxification element. Are you getting adequate sleep? There's a lot of hormones produced in our sleep that affect appetite control, metabolism, and hormonal levels the next day. So adequate sleep is a really key part of good health and lean body achievement. And I've just talked there about the no such thing as a quick fix, and having a system that's sustainable, lifestyle choices are really the way to go. And then just a little added tip there, that plateaus are part of any fat loss process. They're part of the balancing act of the body. The body does this, what's called homeostasis. It gets down to a weight set point and then it'll sit there for a little while before it'll go to the fat burn again. So there's nothing wrong with that, but some of the things that we've talked about today can keep you as best as possible in the fat burning zone. And some form of activity, like Leigh said, some people start and they're at zero activity and they're not capable, but they just get started on the program, their energy levels start to lift, and then they can get into some form of activity. I always say something that you enjoy. You know, for me, it's yoga, walking, and dancing, but for everybody's individual, just get out there and get started and do some level of activity. And then the final point is get supported. We have a tremendous heart-present community here with Manatech, who, you know, well educated and wanting to support people in being successful either in their health goals or their lean body goals. So reach out to the person that invited you to this webinar and ask them for support. Have a chat. You know, what is the best choices for you to support your goals, either in your health or for lean body? And that takes me back to where I started, about the varying goals that we all have for our health and well-being. So as Sharon mentioned, there is a special on at the moment. There's actually 20% off currently for the TruPlan and TRUPURE, which is a really generous offer. So ask the person who invited you to the webinar about that. They'll be able to give you more details. And with that, Sharon, it's back to you.
Diana, that was just outstanding. You know, I'll save the chat for you and send it to you. There's just so much gratitude. You are making a difference by sharing your education in a way that's so easily received and so clear. So Diana, your clarity and knowledge blesses all of us. Thank you so very much. Next week we have Dr. Nugent focusing on everything women. He's never done this before. So I'm very grateful for him to jump into the deep end. And bring your friends, you know, grab a cup of coffee and OsoLean. And we'll see you next Saturday morning at 9. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Bye, everyone.